Our next guest is an award-winning actor who stars in one of the buzziest shows out right now. Patricia Arquette won an Oscar for her performance in Boyhood, which was, of course, that film that took 12 years to make. And she's also a two-time Emmy winner as well.
Well, she is now back in season 2 of Severance. She plays the intimidating Ms. Cobell, who manages a group of employees who have chosen to undergo severance, splitting their work and personal lives and those attendant memories.
But when those employees figure out a way to connect those lives, Ms. Cobell must take action.
I welcome your contrition. I'm so glad. There's much damage to control. I recommend we start by scouring the feed, and I need to interview Dylan G. to see how he gained access to that.
We have something else in mind.
I feel like you have to shake that off when you get out of work, right?
I don't like what they have in mind.
Before we get to Severance, I just want to talk about California and the wildfires. How are you doing, folks you know? What have you seen out there?
I mean, I've been very fortunate. I'm in a good position. I didn't lose anything. You know, I was evacuated, but that's fine. But so many people have lost so much, and there's a real feeling in the air there of, like, people want to help so much. People are shocked, you know. Main streets like Altadena or parts of the Palisades burnt down where you had a main street and you had like a fire plug right there, and you have this false sense of security. But I also met with the California Fire Foundation yesterday, one of the firefighters, Doc, and he told me something I didn't know that I think is really interesting, that in California, in different regions, like the Palisades wealthy, there's other areas in California that are poor. The firefighters have different boots, hats, coats, according to how wealthy their area is. And that should be like a California legislative standard. We need to budget for that. And the California Fire Foundation also, they fund college things for firefighters who've lost their lives for their kids, and they fund also the memorial, because we lose firefighters every year. Also more higher rates of cancer.
Sure. Let's talk about the show, because Severance, as you know, has now developed this loyal, massive following. Is it true that after season 1 came out, people would come up to you on the street and they're like, whoa?
Yeah, they were like, oh, and they'd step back a few feet like, I really like your show.
But I'm not so sure.
It's okay, yeah, they're kind of scared. Well, between that and the act, like, next to each other, they were really like...
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
I would start laughing. Yeah.
What do you think it is about this show, Patricia, that really has sort of captivated so many people?
Well, I think it's really creative. I think visually, they really... You know, the cinematography and the sets and the writing is very different and interesting. And I think we all sort of feel some level that society has put us in positions where we kind of are severed, all of us, between our work life and our home life, and or putting on an act for the world, you know? Like, who are we really?
When you first saw this script, what was your initial reaction to it? What did you think about this?
Well, I actually just got the pilot, and I'm barely in the pilot, so I just had a million questions, which Dan, the writer, and Ben, I spoke to them, and they just gave me these strange answers that just gave me 40 more questions. But I did really trust Ben. I trust Ben so much. And I was actually interested in where it was going, so it was a very blind... just shot in the dark. And
we love to dig into the archives around here. We actually found an interview from when you were on about 30 years ago with Beyond Rangoon.
Wow.
Let's watch it real quick.
What do you figure this film does for Patricia Arquette in terms of the way Hollywood's decision makers view her?
I'm not sure how it'll affect my career, but I have to make movies that I feel right about making.
Look at you.
Oh, the baby.
What do you think when you see her, and now here you are on the couch 30 years later in the next big hit show?
And I also really look a lot like my daughter, which my daughter Harlow Jane, I really see a lot of her in me. I'm just really grateful. I wish there was some wood to knock on, but you know,
Craig's got some of the bummers.
come on, that I'm still here, that I'm still working. I've just
doing
been
really
so
good
fortunate.
work too, Patricia. So
thank you. Well, I'm very grateful.
Next time you come back, I want to talk about this Murdoch murder that you.
Yeah, I'd like to pick your brain.
Are you playing Maggie?
Yeah, I am. I'd like to know some insights you might
This
have.
guy, he covered it all.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Patricia, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's so
Thanks for
nice
having
to
me.
see you. And of course, Severance Season 2 premieres tomorrow on Apple TV+.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.